All right, task number 10. There's a lot into this one. So I'm going to try to get through the first part of it, and then I'll do other videos to finish it up, okay? Probably take 2, 3, maybe 4 videos. I try not to make them too long till you like zone out. Okay, so this one I really like. I wish we were in class to do this, because this gets into supply and demand. Now, I know some of you probably don't want to hear those words after you survived economics, but supply and demand are really important, especially if you're going to own your own business. Okay, so just in a nutshell, they're wanting to sell dolls, and they're trying to figure out what's the best price to set the price of the dolls. Okay, so they collected some data from the past, and they said if they set the price at $1, we notice there's going to be a lot of people that want it. Okay, we like a bargain, right? But we're only going to supply that many because we're really not making that much money. Okay, and then at $2, and the number of people went down, but it's still a lot of people. But the company still doesn't want to make a ton of dolls. Now, you notice at $4, hey, that company's ready to make some dolls. If they're going to make $4 a piece off of them, heck yeah. But now the number of people have went down, okay? So we're going to figure out supply and demand on this, okay? Now, the best thing to do, you don't necessarily have to follow along with what they're asking you to do here. I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? So I'm going to make a supply equation and a demand equation. Now, you're wondering how I'm going to do that. Well, the X is the same on all of them. 1, 2, and 4, right? $1, $2, $4. Same over here. $1, $2, $4. Well, at $1, they're only going to supply 35. So we're going to put 35 here. And at $2, they're only going to supply 130. And at $4, they'll supply 320. And then over here for demand, at $1, 530 people want one. At $2, only 400. And then at $4, all the way down to 140. Okay, so if I have these sets of ordered pairs, there's a couple things you can do. We can figure out slope first, right? So slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So using that, doesn't matter. I'm going to do the last one and the first one. But you can do the second one and the first one, or you can do the first one and the second one. I don't care. I'm going to do the last one and the first one. So my y's are always on the right, and my x's are always over here on the left, right? So y2, I'm going to say 320 minus y1, 35, over x2, 4, minus x1, which is 1. Okay, so 320 minus my 35 would give me 285, and 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 will go into 28 9 times, and it'll go 1 left over, and that would go 5 times. So my slope on the first one is 95. Okay, so I'm going to write this here, 95. Now you see why this is going to take forever. Okay, now I have my slope, and I have, I can use any of my ordered pairs. Do you guys remember that at all? Point slope form? I don't know how many of you have done that or not. So I'm going to plug any ordered pair in. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to use my first one, 1 and 35. 1 would go over here with x, and 35 will go over here with y. Okay, then I can distribute. So 95x minus 95 equals y minus 35. And then I can add 35 to the other side. And all that work, 95x, and that would give me negative 60. That would be my supply equation, okay? So this is saying if they were giving them away, then this wouldn't make sense, right? They would have negative 60 that they'd make. In other words, if they were giving them away, they wouldn't make them, okay? And then it's going to go up by 95 every dollar that it goes up. Okay, so that's all the math for that one. Okay, now let's do, sorry, this board is driving me nuts. Constantly trying to fix it. Okay, now let's look at demand. same thing again, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so I can say 140 minus 530 over 4 minus 1. Well, that's still 3 on bottom, right? And then 140 minus 530 gives me negative 390. If I divide, that would be negative 130. Okay? So now I'm going to do, again, negative 130, x minus, and y minus. And I can pick any ordered pair. I'll do the top one, negative 530. And this will be 1. So that'd be y minus 530 equals negative 130x plus 130, right? I add 530. Now, in a real world situation, it probably wouldn't be quite so linear, but it still helps to kind of play with this. So this would say, if the company was willing to give them away, they would want 660 people would want one, and every dollar it goes up, 130 less people would be interested. Okay, so there's your supply and demand equations. Okay, now it wants to know, it's wanting you to draw the lines. Okay, now, like I said, if you want to, you can draw in here however you want, kind of freehand it however you want. Okay, that's fine with me. If you have a graphing calculator, you can put them in there and then plot and go from there. Now, that's the first part of the lesson. Okay, and then I'll get into the math in just a second. All right.